Well, it's looking quite good now. I've got these cross sections up, cross pieces up to support the middle of the sheet. And I'll put one sheet up just to offer it up there to see how it fits, and it's quite good. It's got a little tiny bit of overhang both ends, which is quite good. I think the only bit of structural work left to do is to fill these voids in. And what I've got is some kind of fairly thin plywood. It's about 6mm thick. Got a few sheets of this. I'll cut wedge-shaped sections up to fill those gaps in, and then it'll be time to put the roof sheets on. That'll actually make it weatherproof, which will be quite good. The weather's actually turned out quite nice now. It's kind of hot and sunny. A couple of hours ago it was freezing cold and raining. All the woodwork now, that's gone quite well. So what I'm doing now, I'll just pull off of the roof panels up onto the roof, and I'm just kind of spacing them out now. to get a decent amount of overlap on each one, and an equal amount of overhang front and rear and side to side. This morning, so I came down here to start fixing the roof sheets on, because I had them all laid out and there seemed to be one missing. I thought, oh blimey, it's probably kind of blown away in the night, so let's go and find it. But anyway, it turned out that it had just flipped over and kind of lined up exactly with another one, so it just appeared it wasn't there, but it really was. So that was a bit of a result. So anyway, we'll carry on fixing them on now. I'll get them all lined up, and I'm not quite sure what to do because I've got this foam stuff that fills in all the gaps, the kind of corrugations, and I suppose that needs to go on top of the walls. But it also needs fixing on these bits on the overhang. So what I might do is put one screw, kind of alternate screws, one on the overhang and one through the foam bits. The problem with going through the foam bits is you have to put that little spacer in, this bit under the sheeting. So I've got to make a big hole through the foam on every screw to get that space. So I've got all the screws around the perimeter of the roof now. So what I'm doing now is putting these bits of insulation in under all the corrugations on the roof sheets, on top of the walls effectively. But the thing is, when you screw, when you put the screws through the sheet, through the insulation and into the wood, you need a spacer, and it's that little spacer between the roof sheet and the top of the wall. So what I've been doing is getting a hot soldering iron and just kind of mouse a hole through this foam to both sides. Just drilling this foam isn't very effective. Make it just under the size of the spacer, and then you get the spacer and push it through, and that's it. That fixes it into the foam just nicely, and then the screw goes through and the spacer stops the sheeting getting squashed down and gives a nice tight fit like it's supposed to. That's the idea of the spacer. That's why they supply the spacer with every screw fixing. finishing touch to the structure, I'd take some of the capping pieces that I took off the tops of the fence sections and do a nice bit of trim around the doorway, around the entrance. That's what that is. I've got 2 bits on. So I've got a couple of bits, a load of crap. This is the second circular saw I've had, and the blooming motor's failed. Still laughing in the brush gear. That's a challenge one. So I think we're going to try and get a Bosch and try and get some money back on that useless load of rubbish. So let's go over to the blooming shop now. See if I can swap my circular saw. That's the second one I've had. That's been no good. It's lasted about an hour. Then the motor goes. So anyway, I'll try and sort that out.